we are back at over 9,000 active cases in Oklahoma, an increase of 3,609 or 69 cases since Friday. That is a huge jump over where we had been previously. The much more concerning one is that hospitalizations have skyrocketed. We're up to 519 hospitalizations, and just to give you a perspective, we were at around 2,000, I think, back in January. So we are rocketing back up in a bad way on the hospitalizations, despite having a functioning, working vaccine. So, of course, this has led to a mix of reactions. The governor is, again, sort of sitting this one out. Doesn't seem to be moving us in any sort of direction. There was discussion last week, questions being asked about whether or not he was going to issue another emergency declaration, which would allow schools to do mask mandates and other stuff as we're getting ready to go back to school in like 2 weeks, some districts. And he is not interested in that. And so just to give you an idea, I mean, the State Department doesn't do a whole lot of weekly reports anymore, but this is their main one. They still put out, but they're not doing like daily updates to a lot of stuff. And this was from July 11th to 7th. And we were already on an upswing then, and we are now, much, much higher than that. We're double almost what we were back just 2 weeks ago. So, definitely trending the wrong direction. Definitely starting to see, numbers going up in a way that is not good. Our vaccination rates have also slowed down quite a bit. We are very slowly getting folks vaccinated at this point, when we still have quite a few, especially in the younger groups, that are not vaccinated. And so here's like the county risk map. So where this sort of started was Missouri got hit especially hard. And so you can see kind of how eastern Oklahoma is showing much higher numbers if you look at the chart there. So where does that leave us? Let me see. More rapidly is Delta variant, is fastest and fittest yet. So just another Tulsa World article. All the Oklahoman stuff is behind a paywall, so not going to show you what they're saying, but I found something. So this is kind of funny. Dr. Aaron Wendelboe, an epidemiologist, who I think was the state epidemiologist for a little while, found a model from them back during May of last year, and needless to say, I would not put my trust in that one. It predicted like something like a couple hundred deaths, and we're up over 8,000 now. So maybe their models are a little better now. I get that was early on, but yeah. I mean, that's what it's, as has been the case in this pandemic, we're just pushing people back into the workforce and really just sacrificing the most vulnerable or people who decide not to get the vaccine at this point. So it's, it does feel like sort of a repeat of a lot of what we did before. But that said, this variant is more contagious, but also we have a vaccine. And curiously, the governor he isn't repping it that hard. Like last week, we talked a lot about how his comms people were like mad at the Oklahoman for writing an editorial saying that he should be pushing vaccines. But like that's, if you're not going to do any of the other stuff, like that's literally your only choice. And when you start looking at why aren't people taking the vaccine, we'll kind of get to that. But, there was a big political movement and a lot of disinformation that have convinced a ton of people very stupidly to sit this out. Monks here shared some tweets. I think this was last night. United States 4 to 6 weeks behind what's happened and this is past president of the State Medical Association. 4 to 6 weeks behind what happened in the UK with COVID. We are only at the beginning of the new COVID wave, and we face a steep, painful ascent to the summit that will test the upper limits of our hospital capacity in Oklahoma. So here it is. That is bad. I mean, the UK at their peak was higher than we were, like, at the first of the year in the United States, and they are rocketing back up almost to where they were. That is extremely bad, and they're going up extremely fast. So we're like just starting to peak up. Really concerning how fast things are getting bad again in some places.